good? What's good? Man, I don't know how I'm gonna unpack this live, but I gotta talk about it because the craziest thing happened to me today. I was not expecting this to happen, but it happened, and I had to tell my wife, and I had to shake my head. I had to be like, God, this is what you be talking about. So this is really a message to the fellas, to the bros, to the men, ladies. This can apply to you. This can definitely apply to you, ladies, as well. So today is Monday. I was in the crib, chilling. Sunday, yesterday, I was in the crib. I did not leave the house whatsoever. Saturday, when I got back home, I didn't really notice anything crazy or whatever. I got back like around 8 p.m. Say that to say, yesterday I was in the crib chilling. Today, I came out the house to get ready to work. Excuse me. And first thing I seen, so actually I went to the gym earlier this morning. I went to get my workout in, and I seen a bumper right in front of my car. So I'm thinking, I'm thinking somebody probably knocked that bumper off and it ended up getting to my car, like in front of my car. I ain't really paying no mind to it. So boom, finished my workout, went back to the crib, shower, all that good stuff. Came outside to hop in my car to go do what I gotta do. And I noticed my bumper is off my car. So I'm like, dang, like, this is not what I need to start off my week. Not trying to go through the whole policing thing because there was no witnesses. There was no cameras in the area that could really see what was going on. And to be honest, my car is old. Like, I drive a 2016. So, I mean, I'm like, at this point, it don't even matter to get it fixed or whatever. So, put the bumper back on. What's up? How you doing? Put the bumper back on. And I hopped in my car. So I'm driving, right? I'm driving, and I stopped to I had stopped to get something. And when I got out the car, I looked on like the hood of the car, like on the top of it, and I seen phone numbers. So I'm like, hold on. So I'm thinking like it's a person who hit my bumper or whatever, and they left their information for me to contact them. I kid you not, bro. I'm looking at the phone number, right? And next to the phone number, there's a drawing of two circles and like a little cylinder thing. So I had to like really like hone in. I'm like, what the heck is that? This person drew, forgive my language. I mean, this ain't really a bad word, but like people be acting like kids sometimes. The person drew a penis on my car, on the hood of my car. They drew a penis with a phone number, and they said, hit my line. HML, hit my line. So I'm like, what is going on, bro? So with that phone number, there was another phone number on the other side of my hood, like on the hood of my car, another phone number. So I'm like, this can't be life right now. So I took a picture of it and I sent it to my wife. I'm like, you wouldn't believe what just happened. And she laughed at like what I sent her. The reason I'm saying this is because I kid you not, whether you're married, whether you're single, whether you trying to do right, you trying to live right by God, you trying to be like, is a fielder, like you still out and popping in the world, you still trying to do your thing, you always gonna be tempted. Like there always is gonna be somebody or something to try to lure you in. Now, mind you, for the fellas, and I promise you, like, if you saying that you don't struggle with this, I know for a fact that you're lying, because every man struggles with lust. Every man struggles with having to control themselves sexually when it comes to the opposite sex, when it comes to a lady. It don't matter if you're single, it don't matter if you're married. There is just something inside of us that if we see a woman who's attractive, if we see a woman who looks good and she takes care of herself, we have to consciously and intentionally be like, nah, like, I'm good on that. You can appreciate her beauty, but you got to keep it pushing. So it's crazy because I'm like, what if I could have been like, man, let me hit up this number. Let me see like who this person is. Let me see what they got going on, yada, yada, yada. And I could tell myself like, okay, like, I'm just trying to find out more info. I'm trying to see like why they doing all this X, Y, and Z. I'm trying to find every excuse, every reason to justify why I'm hitting this person up. And I could tell myself like, yeah, I'm not about to let it go too far. I'm married, or I'm in a relationship. I got a significant other. I could tell myself that I'm not gonna put myself in a compromising position. But next thing you know, you hit up that person, and then you hitting up that person leads to you messaging that person, leads to you calling that person, leads to you linking up with that person when you ain't got no reason whatsoever to be linking up with that person to begin with. And then next thing you know, worst case scenario, you end up catching a STD, you end up getting this lady pregnant or whatever, and the whole bowling ball effect happens after that. So, or snowball effect happens after that. So it's crazy because like I be telling myself like, yeah, like Olin, like you good, like just whenever you see that, run away from that, like don't get caught up. But it's easier to say these things versus being put in a situation where you actually got to practice what you preach. You actually got to flee from the temptations of women. You got to flee from the temptations of whatever God, like whatever the enemy throws at you, all that stuff. So I wanted to read this scripture from in Matthew, where Jesus basically like going down like the Sermon on the Mount, talking about all the things, when it comes to the kingdom, X, Y, and Z. Lil Peewee, WTF, what you mean by that, bro? I don't know what you mean. So, Jesus in Matthew 5, verses 27, he says, "You have heard that it was said, you shall not commit adultery. But I say to you that everyone who looks at a woman with lust for her has already committed adultery with her in his heart. Now, if your right eye is causing you to sin, tear it out and throw it away from you. For it is better for you to lose one of the parts of your body than for your whole body to be thrown into hell." And basically, like, what Jesus is saying is, it's not even just about the physical act of having sex with somebody or doing something with somebody who is not your wife, who is not your significant other, and y'all are not married. It's more than just that. What he's saying is, he's saying like even the very thought of you thinking about that person, the very thought of wanting to do something with that person is sin, like is adultery. So if our thoughts can get us caught up into problems or whatever, it's better for us to even try to remove ourselves from that situation, so where we're not thinking about that person or thinking about doing that thing, and instead direct that toward what God wants for us, like what he wants us to do. So, I mean, fellas, at the end of the day, you're going to do what you got to do as a man. There's nobody that can make you do something that you don't want to do. All I could do is just share information, share my experience, share what I believe is right. But at the end of the day, whether man or woman, people are going to do what they want to do. But at the end of the day as well, every action has a reaction. Every choice has a consequence, has a ramification behind of it. So if we know that sexual sin, fornication, adultery, all this stuff leads to death, leads to us putting ourselves in situations where we don't want to be in, such as baby mama drama, baby daddy drama, STDs, all that stuff. Like, if we don't even want to deal with that, my suggestion is it's better for us to lean into what God has said, to avoid these things, to be conscious of these things, and to expose it. Like, that's why accountability, that's why having a group of people who can hold you accountable and who you can share things with, be vulnerable with, is so important. Because outside of your wife or your husband or whatever, you should have a group of like-minded individuals who can help you, who can show you a different perspective, who can correct you when you're wrong, who can put you on proper game, put you on the right path. That way you don't end up dealing with stuff that you don't want to deal with. Because everybody say that life is hard. Everybody say that they in unfortunate or in negative situations, but they don't want to acknowledge and recognize that most of the time they put themselves in that position. Ain't nobody hold a gun to your head and be like, you gotta have sex with this person. Ain't nobody hold a gun to your head and be like, you gotta rob this bank, or you gotta steal this money, or you gotta lie to this person, or you gotta do X, Y, and Z. Majority of the time, the choices that we make them because we believe that was best for us, and we don't want anybody to tell us what to do. So we gotta own that. Like, own your decisions and learn from your mistakes, so you don't end up being in a situation that could have been avoided entirely. That's all I had to say. Fellas, if you desire marriage, if you desire to have a spouse, even if worst case scenario, you saying, okay, I have a hard time controlling my sexual urges, and I need to be able to be intimate with someone on a sexual level and not sin against God, do the right thing. Seek out marriage with somebody who you love, who you like, you can see yourself being with that person. At the same time, work on yourself, like prepare yourself, work on yourself. Understand that marriage is just more than being able to have a partner that you can have sex with and do all these intimate things with. Like, it takes work, it takes selflessness, it takes communication, it takes trust, it takes God, really and truly. So, and with that being said, I hope y'all glean something from this. Hope y'all having a blessed day. Hope y'all having a good start to y'all business week. Be blessed. May the Lord cover y'all. May the Lord watch over y'all. May the Lord meet y'all where y'all at. And may y'all truly experience him and know him for yourself. With that being said, I'll catch y'all on the next live. Peace.